Hi, I'm John Edmonds. About 15 years ago I did some research to find out how many business managers knew the difference between marketing and selling. Over about 12 months I asked around 200 managers and business owners whether they knew the difference between marketing and selling, and the results were quite remarkable. Now, I don't want to bore you with the full statistics, but suffice to say that only around 10 to 15% of managers and business owners could give me a clear explanation of what marketing and selling was all about. And yet they were all out there in the marketplace, marketing and selling. Since the turn of the century, I've asked hundreds of other business owners and managers, and even today it now appears that around about 90% of them still don't know the difference between marketing and selling. Many thought marketing was advertising and promotion and sponsorship and the like. Most knew what selling was, but they couldn't really tell me much more than that. Many squirmed as they tried to explain the difference between marketing and selling, and some even said, "It's obvious, isn't it? So why do I need to explain?" You see, the difference is very, very simple, and chances are you're one of the 90% of people who don't know the difference, either because nobody's told you, or you didn't go to university and take a marketing degree, or some other reason. Remember, 90% of business owners and managers of very large companies and organisations out there don't know the difference. So that's why I've made this video. It's unlikely that you would have learned the difference at school. So please understand, I'm not criticising you for not knowing. It's just that 90% of the people don't know either. So it's not your fault. And here is the difference between marketing and selling. And it sounds a little bit complicated, and it sounds a little bit academic, to be honest, but if you listen carefully and replay the video, you will understand that it all makes perfect sense. Marketing is bending product and services supply towards the mind of the customer. Okay? Selling is bending the mind of the customer towards product and service supply. In other words, the opposite of selling. So let me say that again slowly. Marketing is bending product and services supply towards the mind of the customer, while selling is bending the mind of the customer towards product and services supply. In plain English, what this means is that marketing is all about producing products and services that fit the needs of the marketplace. It starts with market research and then goes through to product to service design, testing, prototyping, manufacturing, production, costing, packaging, selling, advertising, promotions, location, and a whole lot more. Marketing is mostly what the whole company does. Selling, on the other hand, is when you have a product or service already and you go out into the marketplace and convince people or persuade people to buy it. That's it. Selling is selling, nothing else. Marketing covers a very wide scope of different activities, while selling generally is a single activity. In fact, selling is a small part of marketing and not the other way around. Interestingly, if you think about it for a minute, if the whole chain of marketing activities are done correctly, then people will always want the product or the service by the time it gets to market, because the market research has already demonstrated that people will want the product. So selling actually becomes quite easy, and in some cases it's not even needed. I've seen many companies who think that marketing is actually advertising and promotion, so they place the so-called marketing department underneath the sales department, which of course is the wrong way around. Selling is always part of marketing and not vice versa. The marketing manager is usually more senior than the sales manager, for example, and it's not unusual to have a marketing manager on the board with equal status to the general manager, and that's because the marketing manager controls about 75% of what the company does. If you ever see a sales manager in charge of a marketing department, then you'll see that they've got things topsy-turvy. Marketing then is making things that people have already demonstrated a need for at a certain price before the product or the service is launched into the marketplace. Selling has an emphasis on product, while marketing has an emphasis on customer wants. Selling is selling a product regardless of whether people have demonstrated a need for it, whilst marketing is determining what customers want and then working out how to satisfy those wants. With selling, management is very much volume orientated. With marketing, management is most certainly profit orientated. With selling, business planning is short term usually. With marketing, business planning is definitely long term. Selling looks at today's markets, whilst marketing looks at tomorrow's marketing and future growth. Selling stresses the needs of the seller, whilst marketing stresses the wants of buyers. You see, the difficulties occur in business when the marketing function fails somewhere along the long line of marketing activities and business activities. For example, if raw products are not sourced at the right prices, then this leads to higher retail prices, which means it's harder for the salesperson to sell the product, even if the marketplace wants it. Also, if the market research was not carried out correctly in the initial stages, maybe the product doesn't fit the needs of the market and it'll never sell at any price. That's why there are thousands of garages and warehouses up and down the UK and overseas, stocked to the ceiling with products and services that someone thought would sell but didn't, all because they didn't do their market research before they set off in business. So remember, marketing is bending and designing products and services to fit the mind of the customer and the needs in the marketplace, while selling is actually persuading customers to purchase products and services that usually already exist. Selling can actually be hard work if the marketing department hasn't done their work correctly. So I trust I've given you something to think about and hope that I've put a little bit of simplicity and clarity into something that most business people don't know, and they should. Knowing the difference between marketing and selling gives structure to the whole game of business and can easily be the difference between a huge success or a dismal failure. I'm John Edmonds. Please do contact me for further business advice. I've held a senior position in business for over 3 decades, and I actually have a master's degree in entrepreneurship and business marketing. So maybe I can help you. Nowadays I'm sort of semi-retired, but I'll always continue to have a passion for making businesses work successfully. Do take a few minutes to visit my website of my part-time business, where I'm involved in making promotional videos for small businesses in the West Yorkshire region of England. Thank you for listening and thank you for watching. Goodbye.